Though I have to say that a couple of times on set, while we were on shoot, when trying to, we were having difficulty in a couple of things. I remember Advait and I saying, "Let's go and see how they've done it."
Really?
And I had loved it. I saw it 3 or 4 times, or 2 or 3 times at that time, and it had affected me deeply. And I loved Tom Hanks's performance and the way the film was.
Aamir, this is Manjusha from Gulf News. You need to
Hi,
impress me.
Manju.
6 minutes, yeah? 6 minutes is what we have.
Okay.
Be on the clock. Tell me why I should watch your movie. I've seen it. I'm sold, but you need to tell me why should the ones who have not seen Forrest Gump perhaps watch this one?
Well, but I really love the script that Atul wrote and the adaptation that he wrote. It really touched my heart, and that's when I felt so drawn to it that I had to do it. I think it's a film that we've made with a lot of love and care. And the character of Lal, his innocence, his purity, he's so pure of heart, doesn't have a negative bone in him, and I think that's such a wonderful thing to see in someone, and that's something that makes me feel very nice. It's very reassuring. I wish I could be a little like Lal.
Right, of course. We overthink everything. And that's what, when I was watching the movie, I thought that, Lal is almost extinct. He does not, there is no Lal anymore. I mean, we are so filled with cynicism and hate, I would say. Not hate. We tend to disbelieve people, like I wouldn't. So, where
Well,
is Lal really in today's times?
no, there are a lot of people who are very innocent and pure, and I think that maybe in all of us also there's a little bit of that, if we just tap into it. Yeah.
Right. Right. With this, did you watch Forrest Gump? I know you worked very hard to get the rights for the movie, etc. But why this one? When sometimes you feel a classic shouldn't be touched, and it is such a cultural phenomenon. Why would you even, tweak it?
Exactly, that's what my thought was when Atul told me I've written an adaptation in 2 weeks of Forrest Gump. That's what my reaction was. I was like, "Why are you messing with it? Just leave it alone." So I had the same feeling, but when I heard his adaptation, I was sold. That's what really made me feel that he's done such a beautiful job of. I could have never imagined that a film like Forrest Gump, which is so rooted in American culture,
Yes.
could be actually placed somewhere else. And the way Atul did it made me. By the time I finished listening to the script, I thought I had heard an Indian story.
Right.
That's how well he had done it. So that's what really. So it wasn't something I had planned to do. It was just something that happened.
Right. Right. How difficult was it to weave the historical bits into, like, see, because, the American history people are familiar with, but this was set in a different time as well. Did you also have a say in it on which are the events that you think shaped people's life or an Indian's life?
Well, I think that was a decision that Atul took when he wrote the adaptation, and it's something that came out of him. But what I heard was it made sense to me. So it didn't occur to me to add any more incidents in this, because of course there are many incidents in the life of any country,
Right.
socio-political incidents. But I think the ones that he picked made sense to me, so I didn't have to offer any change in that.
Right, Amir, it's been such a tough time for us in the last 2 years with the pandemic. Jobs being laid off. I mean, we are being laid off even now. Like, journalism is really going down. So, what do you think? Like, do you think this is like the kind of movie that we want, where there is just no cynicism? It's just ignorance is bliss kind of thing, philosophy.
Well, I think certainly all of us have been through a rough time with COVID, and it's still in many ways it's changed our lives so dramatically and affected us so dramatically. So yes, I think a film like Laal Singh Chaddha does make you feel nice. It calms you down. It makes you believe once again in miracles. Yeah.
Right. Amid even the changing patterns have changed dramatically. We have been exposed to content from around the world.
Mhm.
Why do you think Forrest Gump aged so well? Or because there have been many articles that say it hasn't, and many movies haven't aged well when you revisit it. Why do you think this one? In your case, do you think it has aged well and it still works?
Yeah, I think, well, to be really honest, it's been ages since I saw Forrest Gump.
Yes.
So I saw it when it first came out, and I had loved it. I saw it 3 or 4 times, or 2 or 3 times at that time, and it had affected me deeply. And I loved Tom Hanks's performance and the way the film was. But when we started to make it, because we heard Atul's script and we kind of locked into that, and that had its own, story to tell. So we didn't kind of revisit the original and try and look at it. We didn't do that. Though I have to say that a couple of times on set, while we were on shoot, when we were we were having difficulty in a couple of things. I remember Advait and I saying, let's go and see how they've done it.
Really? You did.
Because now with laptops and internet, you can watch a film anywhere. In the middle of a mountain, you can watch some stuff. So we did do that a few times, but we didn't really look at the whole film and try and take from that. No. So the scene where I meet Kareena after very long, and she sees me as a Sardar for the first time. That's I think one of the key scenes of the film, and that's also my favorite scene from the original. And that was a scene that it's such a moving scene. I just love that scene. So I hope I did it all right.
Brilliant. I've been asked to wrap. I thought Jenny was being penalized in the original. Do you think even Kareena's character Rupa is also penalized to a large extent for following her dreams? And did you want an update, a modern update about it?
Well, I think that, so Kareena's character or Jenny's character in the original, that was Jenny, that's one character that's gone through a lot of change in its adaptation to the Hindi version, Laal Singh. So Jenny has become Rupa, but there are large changes because culturally what exists in America doesn't exist in India. So we couldn't have that hippie culture and all of that.
For sure.
Instead, we had what happens in India what would happen in India in a scenario like this, perhaps. Actually, what was your question again?
Was she being penalized? I just wanted to ask.
No. Actually, in Laal Singh Chaddha, I think it's also her. What I find is that Rupa's character is a character who's had a lot of trauma in childhood, and her she finds it very difficult to come out of a relationship which is damaging. I think that's the sad part about her. That's the sad part about her. So I don't think she's being penalized. I just think that it's rather unfortunate that she's not able to come out of the darkness that she's experienced as a child, and that kind of affects her through her life.
Right. She should have done running too. Thank you so much. I think she should have run for another 4 years of her life. But thank you so much for entertaining us, Aamir. My time's up.
Thank you. Nice talking.
Thank you for your time. Lovely talking to you.